Friends, welcome to this session in which I am discussing the practical component of evaluation for your class. For second year BSc, as you are aware that the statistics course is of 300 marks, and out of these 300 marks, so there are 200 marks which are related with theory part, and the 100 marks are related with practical marks. So this 100, 300 is divided into two components. One component is related with theory. The second component is related with the practical. So this practical component of evaluation is divided into four parts. See, this is also again divided into four parts. So the first part is related with your practical examination. So practical examination is of 80 marks. The second component is related with your journal completion. Journal completion is of 5 marks. So there is an oral examination which will be conducted at the time of examination. This oral examination is of 5 marks. And the fourth and final component of your practical evaluation is related with project. So project is of 10 marks. So therefore, the 100 marks are divided into 4. 80 which is related with your examination, 5 marks are related with journal, 5 marks are related with oral, and 10 marks are related with the project. See, again this examination which is of 80 marks is divided into 2. Since for BSc part 2 there are 2 practical papers. Earlier in the first year BSc you have completed paper number 1. Now for second year there are 2 papers. The first paper is paper number 2 and the second paper is paper number 3. So the paper number 2 is of 40 marks. The paper number 2 is of 40 marks. This is related with paper number 2, and paper number 3 is of again 40 marks. So the 80 marks are divided into 2 papers. One paper is related with 40 marks. The another paper is related with 40 marks. Since there are 2 papers, the practical examination is conducted for 2 days. The first day there is the examination which is related with paper number 2, and in the next day the practical examination is related with paper number 3. So what are the groups and what are the list of practicals in all these paper number 2 and paper number 3? Now I am showing the practical paper number 2, and this practical paper number 2 is related with 4 credit 2 plus 2, and the list of groups and practical for paper number 2 are given. See, there are 20 practicals in paper number 2, and these 20 practicals are divided into 8 groups. See, this is the first group, the second group, the third group. So just I am showing you. See, this is the fourth group, this is fourth group, fifth group, sixth group, seventh group, and eighth group. So if you count all the practicals in all these 8 groups, there are 20 practicals. So for first group, if you see the first group, there are 3 practicals. So in first group there are 3 practicals, and the first group is related with model sampling from univariate discrete distributions on finite support. So likewise in the second group again there are 3 practicals which are based on finite support and fitting and testing goodness of fit of univariate discrete distributions. So likewise there are 8 groups and the total number of practicals are 20, and these 20 practicals are divided into 8 groups. As you are aware that the practical examination of paper number 2, the practical examination is for paper number 2 is of 40 marks. So there are 8 questions which may be asked in your practical examinations based on these 8 groups. See, there are 8 groups in your practical examination. There are 8 questions starting from question number 1 to question number 8, and out of these 8 questions you have to solve only 4 questions. You have to solve only 4 questions. See, kindly understand the nature of question paper also. See, there are 8 questions, and you have to attempt any 4 questions, and each question carries 10 marks. So therefore 4 questions are there, each question carries 10 marks. The total number of marks is of 40 marks. So this is for paper number 2. At the same time, in the second day you have to appear for paper number 3 also. The paper number 3 is also for 4 credit, and there are again 8 groups. See, this is the first group, which is related with trivariate data analysis. The second group is related with time series and SQC, and in the first group there are 3 practicals. At the same time, in the second group there are 3 practicals. Likewise, in one group, in the third group, the index number is there. There are only 2 practicals. See, this is index numbers having 2 experiments. National income, there is 1 experiment. So there are 8 groups in paper number 3 also, and the total number of experiments are 20. So these 20 experiments are divided into 8 groups. And what we have to do, that in paper number 3 also, the paper number 3 is of 40 marks, and this 40 marks, in which we have to ask. So that means these are the 40 marks, and out of these 40 marks, the 40 mark, what is the composition for paper number 3? So there are 8 questions starting from 1 to 8, and a student has to attempt only 4 questions, and each question carries 10 marks. So therefore the total number of marks for paper number 2 is of 40. So paper number 3 is also 40 marks, paper number 2 is also for 40 marks. So therefore your practical examination is of 80 marks, the journal is of 5 marks, oral is of 5 marks, and there is a project is of 10 marks. So what are the requirements? So see, these are the requirements. The first requirement is student must complete all practicals by using MS Excel. So throughout this year you have to complete all your practicals on MS Excel. So previously the students were using calculator, but the syllabus which is revised for NEP 2020, and accordingly you have to understand and you have to perform all your experiment through the software. So that is MS Excel, and MS Excel should be, so this is MS Excel should be used at the time of examination for the computation purpose. And how to do the fitting and model sampling part. So this is also suggested for fitting of the distribution. For fitting of distribution, test of goodness of fit is necessary, and for this model sampling part, so the inverse transformation method should be used. See, it is mentioned in this area. For model sampling from all distributions, inverse Fourier transformation method should be used. And all the practicals as far as the fitting of discrete distribution is considered, so this can be done with the use of recurrence relation. So that is also mentioned here, and student must complete the entire practical to the satisfaction of the teacher concerned. There are a few points that you have to remember while doing a project work. Student, see, this is just I am highlighting the area of project and what is mentioned in the project, and this is related with the project work. So student should do project especially in real life problems. Primary data will be preferable. Students will be asked to use statistical techniques, tools which they have learnt during their BSc 1 and BSc 2 program. Student may do project work in groups, and the number of students in a group should not exceed 4. Otherwise, you can there is a one more consideration for you people. So either you can do project work or you can do a study tour. So what is mentioned in the study tour? A study tour, you can organize a study tour to industry. So you can organize study tour with industry or educational institutions, where student can learn about statistic possible areas where statistical methods can be used. Student will be asked to write study tour report. So you have to submit your study tour report at the time of practical examination. And project work or study tour is of 10 marks. And also it is necessary that student must produce the laboratory journal along with the completion certificate signed by head of the department at the time of university practical examination. So this is all about practical component of second year. This year you have to learn MS Excel and do all your practicals on MS Excel, and at the time of examination you have to do all your questions experiments with the help of MS Excel. With this I hope you can understand the nature of practical component of evaluation. We will see you when the practical starts. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.